And look at that. We are backstage at Riot Fest. It is Carcone Carney, James Van Osdell, with the mighty Hepcat, the return of Hepcat. I feel like you're the right band to come back at the right time. Like you just knew instinctively that we here in America needed more Hepcat at this moment in this crazy backward time.
You know, for us, you're saying it's the right time for us to come back. For us, it's like the right time for our own healing. Come back and play music in front of people. You know, it's the way to do it.
How did it feel putting together a show and rehearsing for Riot Fest? Coming back together and doing what you do?
Well, it's been interesting because it's been, you know, we've known about the show, so it's been like thinking about it. Like, oh, we're gonna be back out there with the folks again. Oh, here! Oh, it's here! It's here! And it's been kind of exciting. You know, it's great to be back out.
Do you guys miss the rhythm of being on the road, the full-time days of, you know, just no, you don't, not at all.
I guess sometimes, you know, you kind of reminisce on the good things, but there's a lot of bad that comes with it. And we reached a point where, and the world has reached a point where we don't necessarily have to do that anymore. You know, we could be very selective. We could be very tasteful in our choices of where we want to go and time of year.
Yeah.
You know, we did a lot of tours, months and months in the snow, and
yep.
You know,
coming through here.
Yeah, people aren't as happy when it's snowing outside, you know, but they are happy to see a band. But it takes a toll on us. It takes a toll on our families.
I remember when I first heard Right on Time, the late '90s. I still believe, like, no matter what situation, Hepcat's the right band at the right time. There's something about that sound, that Jamaican sound, that just it's evergreen, it's timeless. It always sounds good. What is it about the music you make that inspires you, or the music where you came from that inspires you?
I think just the fact that we're playing what we love makes a huge difference. And for us, it's timeless because love knows no time. You know what I mean? So it's like, as long as we stick to what we love, it's always just going to come out that way, you know? So I guess it just shows. I don't know how to put it.
Well, and the thing about Hepcat, if you were to tell someone who's a stranger to your music, oh, this was made in the 60s, they'd say, oh, yeah, of course. No, it was made in the 70s. Oh, yeah, of course. It really kind of has that timeless quality, which is cool to be able to say and do.
You know, it's like if you get a good recipe from your family, right? You know, like if you take that recipe from your grandma or whoever, and that day you make it, you're not feeling quite that good, you're not really that happy, it doesn't come out like grandma's cooking. But when you are in the mood and you feel it, and you feel happy about what you're doing, it tastes exactly like it. That's what we do. So some days you'll hear us and you know it ain't grandma's cooking.
Is it safe to assume you guys have really cool record collections?
Sorry?
Is it safe to assume you guys have really cool record collections?
Yes.
I'd say Lino for sure.
Oh, yeah, I got an all right record collection. Vinyl. Now I'm like, my kids are getting all of it now. Yeah, little by little they're taking my collection. So
Little by little they're taking his collection.
What's good about Hepcat is that we all kind of have our root in ska and reggae, but we're all influenced also by so many other things. And to me, that it's like the glue that keeps the band together, because it's never really focused on one thing. It's kind of, you have the major element, which would be reggae or rocksteady or ska or rockers, but somebody would be like, hey, why don't we put this bossa a little bit in there? Or Lino will do a Lino to it and make it that much more special in his own way, that's influenced by multiple guitarists. It's a really beautiful thing to behold.
And I think you just said it too, no one just listens to one type of music. I'm sure if I pulled up a playlist on any of your phones or went through your record collection, it's not all rocksteady, it's not all...
Well, today it is.
Today it is. But I mean, people consume everything. They're inspired and motivated by everything. Everything's fine. Well, Hepcat will not be performing today. We had a cardiac incident.
I think in terms of what Greg was saying, like as far as starting with an original recipe, all of us with our influences and stuff, that adds like spices and other seasonings to that recipe in the music. And so it'll still be the same thing as we started with, but that blend of herbs and spices like just makes it more flavorful.
In my
you
wildest
know?
dreams, I didn't think this
Yeah.
metaphor would keep going.
No, I just
We're
thought about
hungry.
that right now because you think about it, like when we first started, we were going by what we knew from listening to the old stuff. We're like, oh, okay, this sounds like this tastes like this, whatever. And that's what we came up with. We went with that original recipe, but then over time you realize you don't have to stick with the original. You can make something of your own and start with that as the base, you know?
So I feel joy talking to you. I feel joy listening to Hepcat. I'm sure you feel that from the fans. I mean, there's something about that relationship with the audience, and I have to assume you feel that from Chicago, that you have a relationship.
Chicago is love. There hasn't been a time here that hasn't been like utterly enjoyable. Like we played from our first show to our last show here. Our first show being the one where we're like, whoa, this is Chicago.
Metro.
Yeah,
Was
the
it a
Metro.
Yeah.
Just like the biggest show we ever played at the time, and in some ways, it still is. You know.
The Metro was the first and only show that I remember where after we played, the whole audience was saying, Hepcat should have headlined. Hepcat should have headlined.
Yeah.
That's the only place I've ever heard that. It was at the Metro.
Yeah, we were kind of verklempt in that one because it was it's our first tour. We're out supporting another act, and to get that in a major city that we'd never been to and we had no idea what our reception would be was pretty ginormous.
No, we get it. We get you.
Right on. That's what I'm saying. Even when we walk around on the streets here, it's like feel at home. I would be here except for the cold part.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And then the brutal heat part.
I get that.
Yeah.
Now, that said, Hepcat is here on the Saturday of Riot Fest, and because Hepcat's playing, the weather is idyllic. It is a lovely day. It's because of you.
That's part of our job.
That's what you do.
Yeah, it's actually in the resume. Hepcat, ska, reggae, sunshine.
Love you guys. Thank you so much for doing this
Right
today.
on. Thank you.
Hepcat. That's Hepcat right there.